The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by the host of this show are for entertainment purposes only. I repeat, this is not serious, this is not real. I am an untrained professional content creator who is freestyling this show. I do not encourage you to try this at home alone. Enjoy the show.
What up, party people? Man, that was a good intro, right? I'm feeling motivated. I got the eye of the tiger, the thrill of the hunt, rising up to the occasion. Did any of you get down and do push-ups? That, of course, was the 1982 song by Survivor, Eye of the Tiger. And I'm sure most of us remember that from Rocky 3. That song right there just gets me pumping. It gets me going. I'm excited to be here with you guys tonight. So, before I continue on with the show, let me say hi to everyone in the chat. Austin Murphy coming in. Austin Murphy's coming in blazing. Austin, I'm not sure if you heard, but I have said I'm not going to make fun of people anymore. I never said anything about not showing chats, but I neither confirm nor deny that. Namaste the fuck away. I'm glad to see you, chica or homie, whichever. Oh, wait, chica. Listen, we got some videos we're going to go through tonight about the case. We're talking about the case. There's not been an update necessarily in the sense of charges or bail being set, but we're going to go over it. So stick around. I know that you've been keeping up with this story. Yes, Eye of the Optics. Absolutely. Ooh, when you know, you know. Preach it. Snaps. I hope you're here because I'm about to drop the link for you and you only. If your name is Snaps and crew, please feel free to hit that. For now, it's not open to anybody else but Snaps. Shout out Yolanda. Hey, Chicas Locas. We had to take a break yesterday due to technical difficulties. Those difficulties have been repaired and we are back on schedule. We're talking MK Ultra. Make sure to tune in to Chicas Locas every Wednesday. Privately, I might want to know what you make hourly for hire. I can confirm. Number one, LC. Oh, Snaps. If you're down there, hit that link. This is for, Snaps. You've broken my heart today. Well, I'm not sure what to do, guys. I'm not sure what to do. You see, I have a new segment in the show that I want to bring up, and I was hoping that Snaps could come up here and do it with me. This is wholeheartedly geared towards you, Snaps. So, but if you can't, I shall wait. I shall postpone that that desire I have. What's up? I just started a foundation and not joking. Excellent. Excellent. I believe you. You're a go-getter out here on these streets. Definitely a go-getter. All right. I took the stream link back because my boo Snaps isn't coming up. So if he's not coming up, nobody else can come up for now. The panel will be open after I get through the things I want to discuss. And hello, Peace Daimo. Awesome. All righty, guys. So, who's been keeping up with the Sin City Manny, Finney, the Legend, unbelievable drama? Who's been keeping up with that? And Snaps, I'm going to need us to do a show together. We need to really deep dive into the DEX. The DEX experience. Snaps, I need to know. If I delete a video from YouTube, can YouTube go and get it? Can they get it in a day, 48 hours, 72, 2 weeks, 30 days, 90 days, infinitely? We need to know this because this Well, I don't think it's going to come into play for this particular case, but as part of the DEX experiment, we need to deep dive. What is social media collecting on us? How long are they keeping it with us? And what can they do with it? We need to know this before we just think, oh, I deleted a video. It's never going to come back around in life. Because how many times have we seen stars and as they're coming up, oh, this video from 45 years ago just popped up. Like who's keeping all of these videos? Where are they stored at? Who has access to them? Can hackers hack in and grab them? Are they for sale? Like, I have some questions. All right. All right, Snaps. We wish you very much success in your medical procedures. They can, but they don't usually. Well, we need to know. We definitely need to know now. All right. So I asked that because if this gentleman deleted the videos, can it be used against him in court later on? Let me see. All right. So in case no one is familiar, this gentleman down below, his name is Sin City Manny, and he is a YouTube content creator who goes live with his wife. And if we talk about social media addiction, we're definitely going to talk about him, because this gentleman on July 15th would have gone live 2 times a day, morning and night, for 1,430 days in a row. July 15th would have made 4 years. That would have made it 1,460. I took away about 30 days, give or take, but about 1,430 days going live. Could you imagine? Social media addiction is real. He had beef with the 2 content creators up top. We have Finney the Legend and his wife Bubbles. They have had YouTube beef. Obviously, Manny lives in Las Vegas, Sin City. That was his content. He would go live from the Fremont Street at nights and bring Las Vegas to you. Finney the Legend, actually, he had a YouTube channel that, well, had issues with Manny and allowed his platform to be the place where people could come and air out their grievances about Manny. It has been said that on Be Nice to Hank. It is said that on Manny's block list, there was 4,000 people blocked on his YouTube, from his YouTube. 4,000 people. Holy, right? I have 4, and you know who you guys are. And it's pretty for a very long time, okay? That's not going to be reevaluated at all in 2025. However, this gentleman had 4,000 people on his block list. Where do you think 4,000 people who are blocked for reasons of, hey, I saw you at so-and-so's live the other day, you can't come here no more? Where do you think that they're going to go? Yes, 4,000 blocked. Namaste, 4,000. I was talking to Joe Cool earlier, and he said, man, that must have been a very sensitive man that could I wish you much health, but be nice. Be nice, Snaps. I'm sure that was a lot. So they had been going back and forth. Finney and his wife are from Arizona. They decided to take a trip to Las Vegas. As soon as they landed in Las Vegas, Manny drove around looking for him. You know what? Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Give me a second. Y'all guys hit the like button. Talk amongst yourselves. Remind Snaps to be on his best behavior. Oh, wait. Wait. No, okay. Because there's 2 videos of him looking for him. And I want to make sure it's the current one I'm pulling up. Let me see if here we go. Because guys, I'm really watching this case. I feel like this case, guys, is going to be pretty huge. It's going to affect the way we get to sit on panels. People are like, no, Cynthia, you're overreacting. But I definitely don't think I am. I think that this is something we need to stay on top of, because this is going to affect us. All right. If you can't read it, it says on June 7th, 2025, YouTuber Sin City Manny was recording himself for 3 hours looking for YouTube rival Finney the Legend, but didn't find him. The following day, Manny did find Finney and murdered him and his wife in front of the Bellagio fountains. See our other video for more details. And this comes from Poker Fraud Alert. Let me make sure to share this channel out. So if you guys are trying to tell your friends about it and you want to be like, but there was this video, I want you guys to grab this and make sure you show this video. All right. I got a lot going on, guys. Hold 1 second. And where'd it go? Here we go. I've seen this video, but I haven't seen this particular video. So we'll see how it.
Jerome, I'm out here searching for my baby. The fuck? I went through every fucking casino there is. I heard there's one of my biggest fans here in fucking town. I'm dying to see him. I'm fucking dying to see him. What are we doing? Fuel bar tonight? Is that what we're doing? I'll fucking be there. I'll fucking be there. You better fucking believe it. You come to my city and think I'm not gonna show up? You fucking think I'm not gonna show up? I should have been the first one to be told. Right? Somebody should have sent me my invite. Mr. Marquez. That's right. We outside. We're doing fuel bar tonight? I'm fucking there, homie. What's the fuel bar without the fuel?
How many times have we seen this type of behavior on YouTube? Just think about it. Like, we've all seen one of the content creators that we follow either be the person to say something to somebody. Hey, I'm looking for you. Pull up. Send me your address. I'm coming. This is, people are probably watching it, tuned in. Yeah, come on, yeah. Where you at, Finney? Where you at?
We're doing the fuel bar tonight. Fucking go. Or wherever you go, I will be there. Oh man, come on. I have to say hi to my biggest fan. You know?
Holy.
I heard that shit. I jumped out of my fucking bed. It came out here so fucking fast. I'm very disappointed right now. All this long stream, and I didn't see my biggest fan. Teardrop. Just know instigators get this shit too.
Oh, I can't. We're not going to watch that. You can go. Oh my gosh, you can go and watch that video. My soul hurts. Oh my goodness. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my gosh, what has happened to my apartment? Oh, what has happened to my apartment? Who threw me off my? Oh my gosh, hold please. Oh, holy! All right. Did you hear him? Right? He was hunting. I mean, if we're talking about a content creator hunting for another content creator, this is the example. Hank says it in real life, streaming is far too dangerous. Holy, right? Right? Of course, within 24 hours, the gentleman that we just saw growling, making animal noises, said, as soon as I heard this, I jumped out of my bed. And I've been looking for you for the last 3 hours. People are going to say, is this premeditated? Was he cyberbullied? Keep in mind, alive for 1,430 days straight, twice a day. Did this somehow affect his psyche? His ability to distinguish reality from metaverse? I've been sitting on other panels. This is the panel I've been sitting on. This gentleman, his name is Out Your Body. He's doing an amazing job of breaking this case down. I'm dropping his link in the chat. People from both sides, Finney the Legends and Manny's, come over. They listen. Those people who keep receipts on you, and you'd be like, oh, well, don't you remember in 2021 at OTW's live when Jack was up there, and then Cynthia came up there and they had that fight? Y'all don't remember? Those are our YouTube historians. Every historian from both sides is coming out, and they are getting back to the backstory. They can tell you the last 2 years, when the beef started, what the beef started over. They can tell you what live to go to see so-and-so say such and such. And don't you dare be a chatter that come up there and try to say something, because another chatter is going to be like, no, I remember in such and such live when you said such and such. Eyes are always watching us. We always say, oh, big brother, big brother. The elites, the high ups, they're watching us. We're watching each other. We're watching each other closely. I promise you right now, I got 2 or 3 haters watching me. How I move, what I say, what I do, what they think, how they perceive my thoughts. But those people come in handy, because we would not know all the back history of this story if it wasn't for these hip-hop historians. Hey, Margot. Arpo, I am not tweaking. I'm in the zone. You're overreacting, but you are a woman, so I give you a pass. Oh my goodness. No, I don't think I'm overreacting. I think I'm looking at this through my empathetic eyes. And I believe, I cannot prove it, however, some lack empathy. So when I see things differently, it is perceived as, oh, it's too, you're doing the most, Cynthia. You're doing the most. Well, good. And guess what? Tonight's going to be no different. I'm doing the most. We're going to review 2 clips. Manny, of course, this unaliving happened. Manny took off running. He turned himself in 12 hours later. After the incident occurred, he went and took off his shirt and he hid the gun into in a parking garage. The police have recovered that evidence. He turned himself in after 12 hours, and I'm sure he lawyered up. From what I'm hearing, he lawyered up immediately. He went down for arraignment last week, and he has not spoken to any family or friends in regards to getting an attorney. And he is asked for a postponement until July 3rd. Right now, he is still on no bond, and he has 2 open murder E-DW charges against him. So his next arraignment will be on July 3rd, and you guys know I'm going to make sure we keep up with that. But thank you. Thank you, Margot. You're right. No, you're right. Let's not reacting at all. You're posing a question. I will, Chief. Let's see the incident. No, Grant, Modern Life. It really, really hurts my heart. Like it really like it hurts my soul to see it, but it's not hard to find. Like just put in Sin City Manny, and it's gonna come up. It was caught on live stream from both the victim and the assailant. It's out there. It's out there to see. It's not going to be hard to find. I have shown it on, I think, 2 lives ago. However, it literally hurts my soul to see it because I know that the people looking at the camera, this is their last minutes of life. So, but please feel free to check it out. But what we are going to see tonight, what I can show you though tonight, is we have 2 videos from Sin City Manny's wife. She's walking along him in the video that I told you guys to go check out. They walk past him once and then they come back him twice. And that's the second time is when the incident happens. But tonight we got video. I believe it's the first time, the first pass through because there's no shooting or anything on it. However, I have some questions. A, is he asking his wife, should I kill him? Should I kill him? Like, what are you doing if you're strolling down the strip with your boo thing, your bestie, and he just leans over there and hey, should I kill those people over there? Like, what are you saying? Right? But maybe I'm just overreacting. And also, is he cocking a gun? See, some people say yes, he is. Other people say no, it's something else. So we're going to review that. We're going to talk about this. Just because I want to know what you guys think and if this is true, if he does say to his wife, because at this time his wife has not been charged with a crime. She's not been arrested. She's not gone live. All of their YouTube channel is gone. People are saying YouTube took it. Other people are saying that they deleted it and they have the video showing it. It's all up in the air right now. But if these 2 things, these 2 videos that we see here in a minute, if we say yes, he asked his wife, should he unalive those people? And B, yep, that's the gun. Should she catch a case? Should she? I mean, these are questions I'm curious. Margot says, rewatching violence is not healthy. Oh, thank you. Your subconscious doesn't know it's a rewatch. Rewatch, it's new trauma. Oh my gosh. Thank you. That was insightful. Chuck, welcome to the show. Hope you hit the like button. Sin City got its name for a reason. I believe it. You know how sometimes you can walk into a space and you can just feel it, the energy of the area. Just watching some of the streams of Vegas, it seems like a lot of people, a lot of energy, a lot going on. All right, so I don't think I didn't label these guys, so I don't know which we're looking at first. So we're going to watch it. I'm going to break it down, and then we're going to rewatch it a couple of times. I'm then going to pull up the second video, going to watch it, going to tell you what it is, and then I'm going to rewatch it. And then from there, I'll open up the panel after that because I want to know what you guys think. Does having 4,000 people on a block list, is that a testimony to how sensitive he was? Should people be charged? And also remember, they're both going live, like the victims live, Finny the Legends live, the suspect live, the Sin City Manny's live. So everybody's in chats like, yo, Manny, he's over there by such and such. And you know, Finny's people are like, yo, Manny's coming around the corner. You know, all of this was like, y'all know this was happening in chat. We know how chats work. Okay, let's wait to the first video.
Here. Get the light, guys. How many likes do we got? Get to 100.
Yeah, kill it.
Okay,
Here.
okay, so this is the video of where he asked, should I kill him? So if she goes, hey, this is his wife, Julie, the wife of Manny, saying, hey guys, get the likes up. Let's get to 100. I even had the AI transcript it, but it only picked up her voice. There's noise in the background, so you really got to hone in and tune in on her. And after she says, get the likes up, the gentleman's going to say something. AI didn't pick it up. And I didn't want to go in there and just type it in and mislead you guys. So I want you guys to take a look at it. Okay, so I'm going to play it a couple of times. But listen, it's after she says, get the likes up. Or is it get the 100? She said after the second thing she says.
Here. Get the likes, guys. How many likes do we got? Get to 100.
Yeah, kill it.
Here. Get the likes, guys. How many likes do we got? Get to 100.
Yeah, kill it.
Okay, are y'all hearing that? Am I tripping? Am I like doing the most? Am I doing the most? Or did y'all like Grant saying, am I doing the most right now? Did y'all hear that? After she says, let's get to 100. Let's get to 100.
Here. Get the likes, guys. How many likes do we got? Get to 100.
Yeah, kill it.
Wild. Jody D says, I heard it. See, I feel like I heard it too. But you know how sometimes people be like, did you hear it? You'd be like, oh my God, I did. But you don't really know if you did or didn't. So yeah, that's why I'm checking with you guys. That's why I'm checking in with y'all to make sure, y'all keep me in check. He may have said it. I know, right? I mean, obviously, law enforcement's going to have much better equipment to bring down that music. I did the best I could with what I have. Meaning the stream. I've heard it. Okay, so now let's look at the second video. Okay, so so there's a moment you're going to hear click, click. Okay, and then you're going to see that moment again, but it's going to be enlarged. It's because I want you guys to look to the left of the screen. There's going to be a stroller coming down off the sidewalk. So I want to know, are we hearing a firearm or are we hearing that stroller? Okay, guys. See, did y'all hear that again? Did that make that clear? Right? What do y'all think? What are y'all thinking down there? Yep. See, what was it, the stroller? Because honestly, I'm leaning more towards the stroller. I'm leaning towards it was the stroller, but man, that's a heck of a microphone if he picked up the stroller. Yeah. See, Margot, I'm with you. And people are like, oh, well, when do strollers become metal? But I don't No, I just think the microphone just picked it up. I'm dropping the link now. If you guys want to come up and chit chat about it, give me your thoughts, views, opinions. If you've been keeping up with the case, Stroller versus 7 shots. Well, see, this is the beginning. Did you see? This is the beginning of I think the first time he walked through. If you go and watch the video, so he walks past the victims once, and then he comes back around, and as he's coming back around, his hand is already in his pocket coming out. So people are wondering, is this the moment he loaded? And I think she points them out, if I remember correctly. Hang on, let's listen. Yeah, no, I cut that part out. So yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm really obsessed with watching this show. Right, see, the sound is exactly when the stroller is repositioned. I agree, Margot. I agree. I 100% think it is the stroller. But then again, he didn't have to do that. He came the second time already. And so this is, I think, their first pass around. Again, this was the wife who was walking with him. And then, of course, there was the other video. I don't know if you saw, Wizard, where it sounds like he asked his wife, should I kill him? It's after she says, let's get to 100. And then it's going to say something.
Get the light, guys. How many likes do we got? Get to 100.
Mic check, Margot, mic check.
Hello.
Hey, chica. And speaking of another shooting victim that survived, shout out to our president, Donald Trump. Oh, hey, Margot, look at you sitting on the couch, chica.
You know that's my favorite color.
Is it? I love pink too. I wish I could move you to neck closer, but you're good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I got a little work done. Just sitting back watching Indianapolis take on the Thunder in the 6th game of the NBA championship.
Nice. Okay.
I love my sports balls.
Okay, sports fanatic. Have no clue what you're talking about, but it sounds like hot men are involved, and I'm for it.
Ooh, the ref is hot too, now that he just presented himself.
And also, I'm always looking at the owners and the head coaches. Hey, have you been keeping up with this case, Margot? Oh.
I have mostly through you.
Mm-hmm.
Although I've got a lot of friends in Vegas, so it's quite fascinating, and you posed some really good questions.
Yeah.
I just think that social is social, right? Whether it be on the real streets of Las Vegas or online, it's about human behavior.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, so I didn't watch Sin City Mania, but going back and watching some of what clips are out there of him, not his channel, and also sitting on the panels with people who watched him continuously. He was a content creator who went live every night from the Fremont Strip, and people from the chats would fly to Vegas and meet him. They would bring him gifts. They would come to, be in the live with him.
Good for him. That's a gig.
Right. They would bring him gift, shoes. And, but I guess he started having beef with a lot of people and started blocking them and pushing them out and everything. And so then the 4,000 people went to the victims, and He had open panels. See, Manny didn't have open panels. He just did the vertical streams. Whereas Fanny had panels, and everybody got to come up to the panel and discuss the issues they were having. They were bullying him. Content creators have come up from Manny's camp and said that Finney had paid people to go and record them at their jobs, to go and bring the recordings back to them, and they would play them and make fun of them. So it ran into real life over there. And it obviously was a bad interaction. And I questioned the 1,430 days of going live, like all in a row, how much that really altered his psyche.
I agree. Well, you know, everything that we expose our senses to is affecting us,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be online or not online. I'll say, because I don't want to say reality, because I think online is reality.
Mm-hmm.
And when the more vulnerable we allow ourselves to be, the more in danger we are. Look at, okay, I'm going to go back to sports because I love them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these crooks were breaking into homes of football players, like Kansas City Chiefs. They were
Mm-hmm.
breaking their homes when they knew they were out of town for a game, or when the game was going on. They're like, oh, look, there's Travis Kelce online. We can break into his house because he's not there. You know, he was vulnerable in that state. And the only way that he could protect himself is either not play his sport, which is his profession, or
Mm-hmm.
have extra security set up at his house.
Mm. That's
So,
pretty.
so if some dude is walking around Vegas exposing where he is at all times, he's vulnerable. And there's wackos out there. We all know that. I remember, he will remain unnamed, but someone put on his social media that he was looking for me. He was looking for personal information about me, so he could handle a situation. And you know, my family and friends went nuts. They because they didn't know the person that was doing it. I knew the person that was doing it, but they didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So a threat is a threat is a threat, right?
Right.
And if you're going to expose yourself, whether it be as a football player playing a football game, or someone going online every single day for 3+ years,
Mm-hmm.
you're vulnerable. It's your job to protect yourself. Yeah, the law might take care of them on the other side, but you might be 6 foot under at that point.
Right. And I don't think the other gentleman thought it would ever get to this point. Finney, I mean, obviously he didn't think he would get to this point, or else he would not have flown to Vegas and blogged from being in Vegas and going live where he was at, showing his location. I think it was two content creators having this animosity that had built up over time. This was over a 2-year build up, and I think neither one of them thought it would come to this. And
well, there is a fine line between ignorance and paranoia, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you are ignorant to the dangers that might be, then you're ignorant. If you are paranoid and protect yourself with bodyguards, not telling people where you are, then you might seem paranoid, but your chances of being killed are going to be less.
All right. Well, unfortunately, this is going to be a case, I think, that's going to be pretty president. A president. How do I say that word? A president case.
Precedent.
Right.
I know what you're thinking. I can't think of the word.
Presidents, not president, but you know what I'm trying to.
Precedent.
Yes. I think anybody that streams live for 1,430 days, I think they are going to take every opportunity they can to get in front of a camera. This gentleman went one day driving around, going live, to waking up in a cell and can't even touch a cell phone anymore. I can only imagine the withdrawals he's going through.
Yes.
And I question, is this going to affect the way panels are controlled or censored or ran? Are they going to crack down on the hate speeches of each other? You know, I'm going to make a live at you and I'm going to say the most hateful things to you. And this wasn't a gentleman that made lives about Manny once or twice. He did it he had a weekly show for over a year that ran 3 to 5 hours of people coming up and just bashing Manny, just bashing him. So,
Well, I mean, we have a right to free speech, right?
mhm.
So, yes, it might alter Facebook a little bit, but I don't think so.
You don't?
I don't. I mean, if you're threatened, you can obviously get you can go to the police and say, I'm feeling threatened. I want you guys to detour this individual from getting to me.
Mm-hmm.
But free speech is free speech. We can say whatever we want.
Oh, Margo. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. We're going to have to swing back around. I absolutely agree with you that they're free speech. We can say whatever we want. But I'm just curious, is there going to be a point that they're going to say, okay, you've done your free speech enough. You've said all you had to say enough. So I was also looking up cyberbullying cases. And any court case that has gone to court or to the Supreme Court has been with children in school in cyberbullying.
Yes.
I haven't seen any adult case, so I think this might be the first.
Well, unless there is the thing with cyberbullying with adults is you can just turn your phone off. You are a volunteer in that form of media.
Mm.
It's not like someone is coming to your house and threatening you, putting you in actual reality, real danger.
Right.
And I mean, we deal with that at school all the time. If there is an actual threat, then the students' phones are compensated by the law. We have a law office or an officer on campus. If it is an actual threat, then that towards a child, then it's a crime.
So is it the threat on, well, I guess it would be, so y'all take the phone away, right? Of the person doing the threatening. See, okay, so I looked up the definition and it says cyberbullying includes sending, posting, or sharing negative, harmful, false, or mean content about someone else. It can include sharing personal or private information about someone else, causing embarrassment or humiliation. So if we're going to go by that definition, if he went live, they were making fun of him. Like I say, they were sending people to people who were like on the lives with them or he was close to. They would send people to their jobs and videotape them. And then next time they went live, they'd be like, yeah, we seen you at work the other day. That's doing the most for YouTube. And as far as content, like I'm not going to do that much for content ever. I'm never following anybody or anything like that.
Well, yeah, there's a more moral question you have to consider. Yeah, it's a bad world, right? But you think back to, let's go back to the early or the mid to late 1800s, right? The Civil War. Can you imagine the atrocities that happened to people that we never heard about that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, is crime and the criminal acts that happen now worse than before social media? Are they worse now, or we just didn't know about them?
I think before I can answer that question, I need to understand: does social media, does it have a way of getting into people's psyche more?
Well, like I stated, when you anything that touches your senses is going into your brain unless you have some sort of processing disorder or you're in a coma. And then some will still argue that it's going into your brain.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know people that think it's stealing brain. Jody D says, I've always thought of cyberbullying as a kid's thing. But see, if I have a content creator who's been going live on me, who's been bashing me, who is now coming to my city, but then again, I wouldn't go live looking for him, and I walked past him once, so I just came back around to do it again. He is Manny, the gentleman who did the shooting, is going to try for self-defense.
Good luck with that one.
Right. Austin Murphy says, I'm thinking I'm in a coma. This world doesn't seem real. It seems, I don't want to say unreal. It seems like the veil is becoming thinner and thinner as we progress as a society of the evilness. Like Margot was saying, did social media, bring this up? But we can now see it more. Before we only had, TV, and if you were lucky, you had cable.
One thing that I do wish that the media would stop doing is broadcasting
Oh my gosh.
school shootings.
Yes.
It's kind of like when there's a suicide, there is a law that, I don't know what the law is. Someone in the chat might. A law, you cannot put on the news that someone committed suicide.
What? You can't?
If someone jumps off a bridge, you can't.
Oh yeah.
You can't put that on the news, right? I think the family can, but I think there's some law that says that you can't do
I'm
that.
gonna look that up. So you know what? I have a few friends that live in downtown Dallas, and they say at least twice a week somebody jumps from a building, but they never see it on the news. So it's
Exactly. There's some law. Now, if you think about it, when it comes to school shootings, who actually needs to know about those school shootings? I would argue the parents, and they're notified immediately through the emergency phone system, and our legislators, right? The authorities. But the general public does not need to know that, and other students from other schools don't need to know that. Obviously they're going to hear it from their friends, but they don't need to see it over social media, because that gives them ideas and teaches them how to do it, and makes them think that, well, if they can do it, I can do that, or isn't that cool? It glamorizes it. So
absolutely.
I think that they need to stop broadcasting about school shootings, just like they do about suicides. That's my 2 cents about this whole thing.
Speaking of that, Namaste the Way is saying, oh my gosh, she's concerned that you're breaking TOS. But to counter-react that, hold 1 second.
Help is always available. We want to show this number now on your screen. It's simple, 988. That is the National Crisis and Suicide Lifeline. It is available 24/7, 365 days a year. Again, all you have to do is dial 988 if you or someone you know is in crisis.
Yes, I saw a bumper sticker that said that today. If you don't feel like living, we'll talk to you. 988.
I apologize for using the wordage that I did.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you. And I love that Namaste is patrolling.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
I agree with you. I've often thought the same thing as a child. I mean, like as a younger parent and my kids, I was like, oh my gosh, stop introducing those thoughts into my child's head. I can't say I can see the value of not highlighting that. You know, I think for a while there, nobody says the names of the perpetrators. You know, they only say the names of the victims because they don't even want to glamorize the what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the other end, it's like, well, if we talk about it, we might see the warning signs of it. Hello, Jalen. How are you today, sir?
I'm all right. Taking a
No.
break from school work, man. I decided I'm gonna come up here and chat it up with you real quick.
Thank you. I always appreciate you. Did you see the 2 videos I played earlier from the Las Vegas shooting?
I actually did not get to see that. I kind of just tapped in maybe 20 minutes ago.
Nice. You are familiar with it, right?
I'm familiar with what's going on with the case. I know we talked about it the one time, and I know we talked actually twice because we talked about it when Joe was up here too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was over there. Hey, Snow. I was over there. Okay, we're trying to decide if the first one, if he's asking his wife, should I kill her? Because as of now, his wife has not been charged. This is the streaming from his wife's phone, her stream. And it's after she says, let's get to 100. You hear a gentleman speak. So it's real quick. Wait a minute. I'm wrong. That's the one. Is he loading a gun? Do you hear a gun being loaded? Wait, I'm sorry. I'm confusing you, Jalen. This is the right video.
Get the light, guys. How many likes do we got? Get to 100.
Did you hear it?
No, I don't think I heard it. What was I supposed to be trying to hear though? Exactly.
Okay. After she says, let's get to 100, you hear a gentleman come in and it sounds like he says, should I kill him? Because she's pointed them out and they walk past the couple one time and then they come back around a second time. And that's when the incident occurs. But
Get the light, guys. How many likes do we got? Get to 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it that time. I don't know if it's because you planted it in my head now.
Right. See, that's what I think too. Chuck says we would have to isolate all the sounds to know for sure. Everybody's tried, Chuck. This is actually like twice isolated sounds and transcribed. However, the AI didn't pick up the words from the man. They only picked up her words. And I didn't want to poison the water, if you will.
But I mean, if he did say, should I kill him? I mean, it don't seem like you got the response to what she might have said. And then if she did say it, like, is she really liable?
Well, that's what we were asking. And then
I don't know if I could hold her liable for just saying, yeah, man, you should kill him. I don't know. I don't know.
Then there's another video that we're going to see. Okay, you're going to see it, and it's is this a gun loading? But if you look at the screen, I play it back a second time, and to the left of the screen, you're going to see a stroller coming down off the sidewalk. So we're trying to just say, is this the gun being cocked back, or is this the stroller? So watch the screen on this one. Did you hear that?
Now, I mean, I did hear something, but I definitely don't think that was no gun. I'm not sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, then we're all in agreement.
Yeah, 'cause I would say, yeah, the gun cocking is pretty distinct. You don't get that once you hear it.
The other day I was on a panel and a gentleman came up and we had the overlay and he was cocking different guns for us to listen to. And it did sound like that. So, but you see the stroller coming down at the exact time of the sound.
Yeah.
So Margot and I were up here. We had talked about that, but then Margot brought to our attention that unaliving ourselves, like jumping from a building, can't be broadcasted on the news. However, school shootings can. And Margot, because she does work in the school field, doesn't believe that we should even give those media attention of the school shootings. What do you think?
I mean, it sounds kind of reasonable. I don't know. Why does anything, half the things that get reported on the news get reported? So I don't know. I mean, if you think a public will want to know when, I guess, a school shooting happens or when certain things happen, I think it's kind of a responsibility in one hand for a journalist to report what's going on, whether people like it or not. But at the same time, I don't know. I think it is a lot of trauma based news coverage now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of crime based, you know what I'm saying? Especially like primetime news and shit. Usually when you get most of the crime reports from most of these cities, probably about like 6, 7 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. So at what point or is highlighting crime when statistics say, at least I know some people don't believe in statistics anymore, but statistics say that, we have gradually, you know what I'm saying, got safer as a country. We had some spikes, 2020 was one of them, I want to say. But for the most part, we done gradually gotten safer and safer and safer. But I mean, that's not always the case for every, you know what I'm saying, neighborhood in America. Everything is not made necessarily equal. So some places, you know what I'm saying, I don't know.
I think that's a really good point because we have cameras everywhere in our schools. I mean, you can't walk onto a school like you used to when 10, 15, 20 years ago. You can't. So in that respect, I completely agree with you.
Yeah. I think the hard part about protecting the school is that, I mean, as much precautions that you have, you just never know what is happening. Because, I mean, 9 times out of 10, the person that's going to cause some harm in a certain area is probably of that area. So they the ones watching you put up the cameras. They the ones watching you, you know what I'm saying, take all the security and stuff and the measures and whatnot. Because you never know where this come from. School shootings, robberies, murders, they usually are not too far from home. So that's the hard part of trying to fight crime or fight these things from happening, is because 9 times out of 10, man, they come from people that were cool or were at some point familiar and okay with each other, and then something happens and there's all type of information that's been exchanged before they got into a bad state with each other. So yeah, man, it's kind of hard to know how a person gonna plot on you when they was your friend, because they usually know all your secrets, all your little spots that you might go. Ain't nobody else know you go, but this one friend will know you'll be at this spot at certain times. You know what I'm saying?
I completely agree with that. And before medical records were electronic, now you know instantly who was able to look at a medical record. You can see who's viewing that. But before then, your medical record was only worth as much as the lowest paid medical records clerk in the office. And same thing, as a teacher, you're only as safe as the lowest paid person on that district, in that building, because if someone comes along and wants to kill them, you might pay off some schmuck who cleans the place for $250 to get on campus. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's an aspect. But also it could just be people just necessarily messed up. They could be just messed up for whatever reason. They don't necessarily mean that they're started out bad people or whatever. Just people get messed up at some point in time, where it be some kind of childhood trauma, you know what I'm saying, or just I don't know, like any type, because childhood trauma could be physical, mental, all that stuff. So really, it's as we try to talk about it and break it down, really so many aspects. That's why I say really most situations that happen are nuanced, but we give it these distinct characteristics and say this is why this happened and this is what, and we try to make reason to something that who knows, man. A motherfucker could have just did some shit because it was Tuesday.
Right.
That brings up a really good point. And I've been doing a lot of research on a new diagnosis that hasn't hit. It's not being used yet, but it is going to. It's CPTSD. C is in cat, and then PSTD, and it's complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And it's for individuals that might not have been exposed to something trauma like killing someone in a war. Oops, I probably shouldn't have said that. Unliving someone in a war, or watching a bomb go off. Right. That is the one traumatic event that can cause post-traumatic stress disorder. Now they're saying that there's this new condition, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, for children that have
Actually,
been.
Margot, that's actually been established. That's been around for quite a while. And I don't mean to interrupt, but my previous experience, especially in sleep science, was something that we dealt heavily with PTSD, and that's actually what we would often regulate in the brain activity. But
in the United States of America, you cannot use it as a legal diagnosis. That's what I'm talking about.
Really, actually, are you positive? Like in the last.
Hi. Hey, Ezra, welcome. Hey, go ahead, guys.
Yeah,
I don't mean to be rude, but actually, I actually wrote billing codes, and I actually frequently prescribed through insurance companies. So I do have experience.
But it is. But for insurance purposes,
Sorry, Margot,
it is.
Really quick. Complex sleep apnea, I actually did diagnose and had a diagnosis code specifically.
But there isn't one for complex post-traumatic stress disorder. The insurance
No, that's
companies.
what I'm saying. There was.
But you said it was sleep disorder.
I'm sorry. I did bring in sleep. I apologize.
So that's why I'm saying, are you saying those two are the same thing?
Complex PTSD. There was a diagnosis code for that, specifically 5 years ago.
That is not what I came across today when I was working with the psychiatrist.
Directly? And I don't mean to be rude.
No, you're not being rude at all. No, you're not being rude. No. Please don't think I think you're being rude at all.
Hospital system.
What was that?
I worked in a hospital system. I don't mean to be rude. I'm not trying to digress.
No, not at all.
Your background, but I did work in a hospital system. I also worked in complex sleep facilities, and we actually prescribed and billed based on complex PTSD specifically.
Well, rather
maybe it is a state situation then, because I was on campus today at the medical school for University of Arizona, and we had to put our patients that are in the research study. We had to use the code for just PTSD.
I was gonna say that I think what was happening that I'm not quite realizing is that in our state we were able to bill under a generalized code of PTSD.
Yes.
And complex fell underneath it. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, now there's legislation that they're going to recognize complex PTSD as its own diagnosis, which is great. Which is
right. Like, it's ridiculous. If you have worked in mental health, that's been a part of it from the get-go, right?
Well, as a person who has not worked in mental health or medical health, I don't know what y'all talking about.
Right. Can you break it down
to an explanation of what this complex post-traumatic stress disorder is?
Well, post-traumatic stress disorder initially was for veterans coming back from war. They were the ones that were initially diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder.
That's correct.
And so they were diagnosed, and then they were. I apologize. Let me stop trying to talk so fast.
Well, then it became much more significantly relevant to war in general. So
Yes.
Anybody who was immediately correspondent to bomb explosions, to any sort of like immediate warfare and combat, had significant changes or PTSD like relations. And this evolves like across the board, even through generational trauma. So this is actually passed down through your genes,
so
without you actually exhibiting it. So yeah.
Prior to me going into education, I was a grief counselor. So I worked underneath a psychiatrist and a psychologist. This was 25 years ago. And our psychiatrist and psychologist started prescribing it. And I'm like, wait a second, these patients weren't in war. What are you talking about? And so then it became more widely used for people that had been in fatal car accidents, had watched a murder, more homeland,
like super severe
homeland violence. Exactly.
Yeah.
So now they're recognizing that complex post-traumatic stress disorder isn't just one
exactly
one event.
Or super severe, Margot.
Yes.
Like, right, like it's actually can be replicated in modern day society quite frequently, and in circumstances that a lot of us actually choose to sweep under a rug.
Absolutely. Children that experienced abuse over a decade or more.
I was gonna say multiple
exactly
instances of maybe like smaller trauma. I would hate to say smaller trauma, but
yes,
for the instance of not having a better word at this moment, smaller trauma or stuff like that. Things maybe like a hidden or being shouted at multiple times for not knowing the reason. Stuff like that could be over time maybe lead to these diagnoses.
Absolutely, especially when you're
Margo.
dealing with a child whose brain is still developing. I mean, it changes who they are. I yield.
Exactly. And Margot, you shouldn't yield. And like I can actually have background to this. I don't mean to like interject so heavily, but I did work in EEG sleep studies. That's why I brought that up specifically. So I actually watch anxiety, trauma based on your brain activity into your sleep, into your daily activity. And so what she's getting at is so heavily connected. So and actually I did a great little in-depth we actually had AI break down some of this for us, but Cage and I did and I've talked about this before, but how does like alpha, beta, theta, sigma, omega, and how that relates to our EEG activity, and how does that relate to our societal structures? So this is so important with how we choose to handle ourselves in day-to-day activities and how that reflects across the board.
I love that. And I also want to say, Ezra, please don't minimize your knowledge and your exposure to these procedures and these diagnoses, because you lived it. You lived it every single day. I know that nurses and medical staff and diagnoses technicians and things like that, you're in the forefront. As much, if not more, than the medical doctors that went to school to learn that. So please don't minimize your knowledge or your experience. I certainly don't.
I actually worked with one of the founders of sleep medicine in Oregon. And this gentleman and I had really beautiful relationship to this day. We actually still are.
I believe connected.
That. But like what you're just saying, right? Like he respected me to a core, even though I was such a young student.
Yes.
He saw that influence and that yeah. So yes. I appreciate what you're saying. Thank you. And
you're welcome.
I have a question. So this post-traumatic stress, now that we have social media and it's so available, it's in my hand, it's anywhere, is that now becoming a problem? Like, are people just, for whatever reason, like we don't know why, are they just subjecting themselves to it, don't know how to turn them off?
Partially, yes, Cynthia, because it is like an addiction. It's like a dopamine influence. So like you literally are training your brain to want this kind of interjection. You want.
I completely concur. It is at addictive levels, And I think as an adult, you know, we can make adult decisions and we can seek help if we admit that we have that addiction. With children, I think as parents, it is our job to make sure that their time online is limited. That's just my opinion.
Yes, and influence them
definitely
to seek something else. Yes, exactly.
I had watched a YouTube story about the YouTube people who watch videos to see if they can make it onto YouTube or not, that they were suffering from post-traumatic stress from all the things that they were seeing. One gentleman was a newlywed who enjoyed, activities in the bedroom because he was so exposed to horrible crimes in that department that he no longer engaged in that activity because it changed his psyche.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I'm not gonna lie, like I just turned 40 about a month ago.
Happy birthday.
I appreciate it, but in that influence and just like that the trajectory of moving into the online, sort of being this millennial but a zennial or whatever the fuck. Excuse me. Regardless, it's not like I never watched porn. And just that influence of that timing and that like structure of relationships, it's a fascinating time to live, right? Like you're like, wow, like looking at it now and stepping back from like how you don't need it. You don't need that sort of dopamine release. And then I of course I'm a woman, I'm not a man, I can't fully relate, but I think right, I'm to some extent. Okay, thank you. I yield.
Yolanda says frequencies have a lot to do with those sleep modes, and so does technology. I can't stand any light. I have my keyboard for my air conditioner, heater, and everything. It lights up, and I have to put something over it because it hurts. Oh, we lost. Oh, where did Ezra go? Where'd you go,
Sorry,
Chico?
I accidentally. I'm so excited because Joe talks my language. She knows me very well. I was like trying to unmute and I turned my camera on, and I don't actually have a camera for my new computer, which will happen. So Cynthia, legit, in sleep studies, I watched your brain activity get influenced by light activity and your phone. So like that type of G style frequency activity would actually interfere. So there's a difference. We would call things called sweat artifact. So like it would cause your brain activity to look kind of unusual because something was happening immediately with your body physics. But then we would watch things happen like phones right next to your head. And this is pre some of the technology that's really come out, but Yo knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, I always have a headache.
I had it like it was artifact. It was interference, not artifact. So it was literally coming into your brain activity. And
yeah, I would have the worst headaches the next day.
Exactly. Beautiful.
So it took me 2 nights, and I was like, it's that little bitty box light right there disrupting my whole entire night.
Yes. If it was blue light, I will legit show you in your EEG where it was happening. Like I could see that.
So now let's take it away from the light, but who people that listen to music at night? I've heard of people that listen to books on money management and stuff.
Not the same.
Not the same. Okay.
But certain audio can influence alpha. This starts like what I was getting kind of into: alpha versus beta versus theta versus delta. So this is all your sleep stages. And in REM, you go into all of these sleep stages. You go into alpha, beta, delta, theta, delta. And I'm telling you in that series because generally that's what you do in your sleep stages. So when you talk about music and something like brown noise versus white noise, have you heard those terms before? Because people use white noise simulators to help them sleep, but brown noise is actual like crickets, like my boyfriend Steven, if you all know Steven David and the Crickets.
Oh yeah.
But the sleep pattern and what it does to your brain activity is everything to do with
So
how
you're
getting it. Go ahead. Yes.
Hang on. So it says light stage is 1. Second light asleep is at 1. Light sleep is at 2, and I guess it's like a bigger time frame.
Yes. Okay. So, but can I tell you something? So, yes, 3 is the deepest. REM is not the deepest, because REM, if you actually look at it again, if I were to show you, like, and I could pull it up for you real quick, because actually I did this earlier. I'm not going to joke, but REM does every single cycle. It will show your alpha, and again your beta, theta, and also your delta. Delta, not as much, but you are. Here's the other weird thing about dream sleep: you paralyze yourself due to hormones. So you can't actually, if you have REM behavior disorder, you shouldn't be able to be mobile. So hormonally interacting correctly. It's okay. Hopefully that responded. I hope that makes sense. Like, I know this, like, I could get into this like for hours.
I can tell.
So I don't mean to take over, but like, I hope that makes sense. Like, there's so much complexity to your sleep, and it is why it's important for you to go through all your stages. But when we break it down to how you actually are influenced during your daytime activity and how your EEG is influenced in that same replica.
I'll repeat, you kind of went low. If you break it down to how your daytime activity does what?
Thank you. And I apologize because I realized I was walking away from my mic. So when your daytime activity actually is influenced by your brain activity, which is influenced by how you sleep at night. So if you're cycling through properly, you're going to restore properly. And then your alpha and your beta and your theta are going to be influenced correctly as well. So if somebody comes up to you and starts screaming at you, you're going to be able to react correctly. You're going to be able to calm yourself down, look at them properly, and move forward. And as you can see what just Yo posted, she very much understands. And also, I can actually back this up because this has been my passion. So prior to meeting some of you, I used to work on a show with Bernie, Mind's Eye, Science Guy. He has worked with Dan Winters. Dan Winters is like an actual, scientist. He's worked with the frequency philosophies. And I was able to ask him directly that sleep wave activity is in a 3-6-9 pattern activity. I hope that helps.
So,
and I will leave that there.
I ain't gonna lie.
So what is that?
None of that. So what is the alpha versus like the theta, the beta, theta, all this? Like can you break it down further? Because like I ain't gonna lie, I don't know about none of those stages or what's that like. Is like alpha like the light sleep versus or
alpha is actually like flight or fight. Like alpha is misconstrued, right? We hear that in our if you're an alpha male, right? Like it's actually misconstrued in the sense that if you're in a flight or fight state, you're actually in an alpha state.
So that's
when
what
you get into
you
the
in
more
the alpha
beta
sleep
theta,
state, you in that
you're
fight
more
or
in the
flight
king,
state.
and then this starts to push into omega, sigma, the difference between omega and sigma, and how that is actually influenced on the brain activity.
Ezra, he's asking, is this like a you and
I don't want to
I think there's a lag
through this whole conversation.
Ezra,
but we could talk about this for a long
Ezra
time.
He's asking, is there an alpha sleep? Can you hear us still? Ezra, I think.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think she's.
Okay.
I think she's behind. Yeah, I'm kind of confused on the alpha.
I just feel like I don't have enough information. I don't necessarily feel like I'm confused. It's
just I didn't mean to lose everybody in the sauce. I can keep talking about the
I think you're
Confirmation
behind.
of how
Can you
your
hear me
brain
though?
activity is influenced,
'Cause I'm just
Can
trying
you
to
hear
ask
us?
you a question.
like when you're in alpha and beta theta states.
Can you hear us, Ezra? Can you hear me?
Batgirl?
Ezra, can you hear me?
Apologize if I'm
I'm gonna
off.
think
don't
that
think
she
so.
doesn't hear you.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
about to
I
say she
don't
don't
think
hear.
she hears us.
But
Oh,
I
because
mean, it
I'm
definitely sounds
interested.
interesting. I'm definitely interested in the topic for sure. Because I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I have good sleep, sometimes I have bad sleep. So it'd be nice to understand maybe what I'm doing throughout the day, or what I'm eating,
Mhm.
or whatever that could be.
I mean,
That could
sorry
be
guys. At this point,
disrupting that.
anybody? Are you guys there? Am I fucked? Is my mic
Ezra, Ezra, you're behind.
Can you hear us? I just think she might be just, I don't know, it might be bad service or whatever. It might be some kind of
Yeah,
disconnect there.
yeah.
Maybe pick her and she'll come back.
Okay, I'll do
I mean,
that.
I don't
Ezra,
want
I'm
to.
kicking you with love. This is with love, Chica. Come back.
Is the other lady, is she still here?
Margot, yes.
Margot, that's what. God, my bad. The names are so small. You got to zoom in to see them.
Yeah. We're in the couch. We're in my pink living room.
Elaine, you're right in between us. How does it feel?
Well, it's cool.
Earlier, Yolanda says that my ears ring after I use the computer and my eyes hurt, so I turn off 2 hours before bedtime. And she said she does not keep any electronics near her bed. Oh, I should have wrote him back, chat. My bad.
I try not to either, but
darn it.
You know what I want to know? So, I follow the chakra system.
Mm-hmm.
As a behaviorist, I don't believe that any of that is like internally in my body, but I think it's a good system to identify and to help me focus on different areas of my body. Just my personal opinion. But I do listen to chakra healing music at night. And I wonder if there's scientific studies done on that music to really assist in better sleep. Kind of what Ezra was saying. You know what I mean?
Right. I was thinking the same thing, Margot. Because you know how you'll see those YouTube stations that are like the frequencies and hang on. Is this you, Chica?
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I literally like muted my TV, which was my source. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you were like, so we
I
were
was yelling at
interested.
myself for quite a while there.
So Jalen was asking that he was interested in the topic, and some nights he doesn't have good sleep, and he would like to know more about what could he do throughout the day to ensure.
In the beta state of sleep, and all those different stages that you were naming. Just wanted to know what are those stages in the whatever the sleep patterns that you were reading, or what you was like. What is that? Because I didn't know.
Oh, this didn't just happen to me.
I'm gonna do it now in the back chat.
Can you hear me now?
I think she's still behind.
I can't believe I just did this. Wow.
I think she's like on the phone, but then watching on the TV.
Okay, so home source. This is the weirdest thing. Like, how can I not see?
Yolanda says, "Oh, I don't know that word. Solo for you go. Is the chakras different tones for different hair?
Okay.
As in the body.
So the body. Okay, that answers
chakra, not hair. I was like, different hair on the butt, different chakras. Yeah. I hear a lot of people talk about it too. Like, you're talking from your lower chakra, and I'm confused, Margot. We're right here together, us older ladies, us seasoned women.
Like I said, for me, it gives me vocabulary, so I can at least, you know, like my third eye chakra, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I don't have a third eye in the center of my head, and I don't have a crown on the top of my head, but I can say my third eye chakra or my crown chakra. I don't remember the other terms, so I use it as it gives me the vocabulary. But what Ezra's saying, that would make sense if that chakra music focuses on the frequency for that part of the brain and the body. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting how that light it intrudes into my brain at night, right? Like, how does my eyes are closed? How is my brain seeing the light? The frequencies are coming through. So now, imagine the people who sleep outside, what their frequencies must be like.
I know. Or by a river, like going camping. Maybe camping's better than we thought it was for us.
I don't know, Margot. I don't think I could
I ain't
sleep.
gonna lie, sleeping outside is actually pretty peaceful. I ain't gonna lie, I slept outside plenty of times. Hammocks and chairs. It's quite good sleep actually. I ain't gonna lie. I probably feel like it happens out of nowhere. You don't even know you sleep, and next thing you know, you woke up. You done been sleeping an hour or 2 hours.
Yeah, well, if it's breezy right now, it's hot as Hades down here in Texas right now, Jalen.
Oh nah, yeah, don't sleep outside today. At any time, nighttime, daytime, gonna get cooked.
Right. I'm upset that Ezra's not back because I was really interested into the sleep. I
know, but you know what, Cynthia, you need to make an actual show where you just interview her about it and ask all those questions. What a great idea.
I'm writing it down right now. Chica, are you back?
I fucking hope so. That was so
Did you hear Jalen's question?
Point, like everything failed. Like I was like, okay.
Did you ever hear my question, Ezra?
Not want me to talk about this. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I was saying, did you ever hear my my question about what is the alpha, beta sleep stages? Well, I think that's what you were saying. They were sleep stages,
like getting into the stages, right? So what's kind of confusing, especially if you don't understand sleep stages, is like societal structure. So like we reference each other as alphas and omegas and sigmas and betas, but like actually omegas and sigmas are still relevant to sleep and the EEG activity. So this is when I say EEG, I say that I'm talking about brain waves, and that's what you guys. I'm sorry because I'm like kind of spewing into this, but that is my background again. What I mean by this is that there's different levels of that activity that heavily relate to the sigma and omega that you don't call that in sleep medicine. So again, you literally in stage 1 sleep, so when you're awake and when you're going into stage 1 where you're starting to like get dozy or hypnotic, you start to level into beta. And then as you start to level into that stage 1 and you push into 2, you start to level into theta, and then you start to show signs of something called K complexes in sleep spindles. And then you start to level into something called stage 3, which is called delta. So we all understand what delta means, sort of in a societal structure, which is very interesting, I think, in retrospect, regardless. And then after that, you go into REM. And REM, so was heavily categorized when sleep medicine first came out as REM and non-REM. So I'd like you all to keep this in perspective as I explain what your brain activity does. It's alpha, it's beta and theta, it's minor moments of that kind of K complex, which gives that delta like heightened activity outside. Like you will see a sleep spindle over a K complex in your REM. You will hear about sleep disorders called REM behavior disorder. And most of the time when you are in this stage, you are actually paralyzed. Your hormones are released. you physically cannot move your muscles, which is so we can start talking about sleep paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
People will attribute to, right, like abductions and like seeing
Right.
aliens, right? Like, which is actually a little complicated. And I could go on and on and on and on and on. And obviously you can hear me spewing a little bit, but I think you get the gist of where I'm leading the
Does our mind turn off? Because I've seen my dogs do it. I've seen them obviously have a dream about running. They're running. I've had dreams of falling, or like I'm about to slip and my whole body catches itself from falling. Is this? Does our body know it's sleeping and realize it's safe?
So that's why I said, like, when you're actually in dream state, you release hormones that paralyze yourself. So you can't physically jump over the cliff that you're dreaming about. But in some cases, people have a disorder called REM behavior disorder, and they don't have this hormone release. So they actually act out their dreams. Guess who also has this problem, and it's a common known thing? Dogs.
Oh. I've always heard that if you like fall from a building in your dream, that you will actually die in real life because your body didn't realize it wasn't.
Yes and no. Most people wake up before that happens. But that's why they don't die in their sleep. But it's not to say it's not impossible, because legit, you enact, and what I've seen in your sleep, what I watch people go through, and I watch REM behavior disorder. Like, I'll never forget one of my favorite stories as a first time sleep tech. So this is 20 years ago at this point. Or sorry, maybe that's a little too far, because I guess I was like 21. Anyway, sorry. This person was a combat vet, and they were trying to kind of figure out what was going on with him forever. They knew he had some sort of complication with his sleep, but they didn't understand the gist of it. And I was so excited about this. So I actually videotaped this man acting out a scene when he was a Marine and was actually acting out a combat situation in real life, right? To be honest, Cynthia, right? Like, I think you and I connect that way. Like, I was like, whoa, this is so cool to me. And for him, here's the thing. He wasn't there for the sleep study. It was his wife. His wife was there, and I had her on respiratory equipment. So she was actually on ventilation equipment. So that was supposed to be what I was doing.
Wow.
But I had this man in the corner acting out a combat scene. Right.
Wow.
So I was about 2 years into my program in sleep medicine. I am still an RPSGT, by the way, but if you guys understand my transition into health medicine, I'm going to be starting the Healing and Wellness Center with my my business partner here very soon, and we will be exhibiting this. But my background prior to that was heavily in doing these sleep studies and teaching more or less breathing, like teaching people how to learn how to breathe again. And so, and that's not the only aspect of it, because there is a whole like EEG or brain activity rewiring part of it. But yeah, I think you get where I'm going. So I appreciate the floor. Thank you.
Well, we're going to do an interview.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, because Margot and I have some other questions, but we have questions. But before we get to our questions, and I'll probably save ours for learning more about sleep, because I'm also I have a lot of questions. But lady, Katie's asking, what about premonition dreams?
Ooh. Okay, well, that actually is not as well influenced or researched in the straight EEG field. Not to say it's not recognized, but it is heavily hollowed in a community that tracks like past lives concepts. And so exactly what you just said on premonitions is sort of connected to that. That's like one part of it. And then the other aspect is also, I want everybody to think about this, and they have proven this for sure in modern medicine. But it's again, this is tracked in previous cultures. Your dreams like are literally refreshing and influencing your modern life. So whatever is not serving you currently, you often will dream about to flush out. So I want you all to think about that. Like, there's probably been a lot of, and okay, so here's the other weird thing. There's going to be some dreams you've also had that you're like, wait. Like, if that doesn't make sense, what you just said, Sarah, like, right? Like, I haven't seen this person in years. This person has zero influence on my life. Like, I've already like worked through that trauma. I want you to look at it again and see how it is relative to your current situation, because you'll probably find that you are still flushing it out. And that's again what they've proven, that you are actually recycling your memories. And that's part of growth, right? Regrowth. Okay.
I'm believing it all. It all makes sense to me. I love it. I have a question for you though. A reoccurring dream, right? I keep dreaming that I'm wearing roller skates. Nice. I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to be facetious.
Ooh, that's good. How long? How many years, Margot?
It hasn't been years. It's been probably 6 months. I saw a young girl. You know, I live in a condo, so she lives in the same complex, and she skated by me and said, you know, I like your dog. And I told her I liked her roller skates. And ever since then, I would say 40% of the dreams that I remember, I'm wearing roller skates.
Okay, so immediately, and this is me being like super hippy dippy, like esoteric influenced, immediately my answer to you is this is actually like either a past life or a part of your earlier life that you're remembering. This isn't going to happen in your near future. Now, the influence though of like this roller skate aspect, because that's definitely important, is immediate in your life. Like something is flushing or flowing real quick right now. And that's that influence in it. That's all I got to say. And I'm being real like prolific, like I'm a shaman and I'm not a shaman, but that's the immediate answer I got from that.
Well, and you know, this is back literally in the 90s. I took a class on dreams. And so I've been self-analyzing this dream, and I'm going through a change. I'm switching to a different job within the same career. But that's what I thought. I'm like, maybe I'm not on solid ground right now. So that's why I keep dreaming that I'm on roller skates. That's what I'm thinking right now. But
yeah, but it's more prolific than that, Margot. It's not just about solid ground. It's more about like prolific change for you.
Okay. All right.
Something more major is happening for you. And I can feel it actually. Like I don't mean, again, I have not actually followed that background. I have not like studied Reiki, though I've been influenced or interested. We have 2 indigenous tribes now on our advisory board. I am kind of excited to talk about that part. But I will tell you, like I can just feel that really strongly. Something's like some major change. It's actually going to be prolific, like with your family.
Okay.
It's going to be like, this is good though. It's a good change.
Okay. And will you please do me a favor and stop minimizing your knowledge level and your expertise? It's annoying. Men never do that, and I wish you wouldn't do that.
Big problem of mine. Thank you.
Wow, good deal. I like that. Men never do that.
We never hear men
Margot like, is powerhouse mother matriarch, right?
Well, I mean, we never hear men like, well, I'm not that knowledgeable. I only, you know, worked in that department. But we never hear men do that. Why do we do that to ourselves?
Oh, I love it.
We need to freaking say, yeah, I worked in in a sleep office for 20 years, and you would not believe what I learned, right?
What I saw
Exactly.
physically in your brain activity. Like, I'm not joking. Thank you. I
And
appreciate that.
that's not ego. That's you sharing your experience.
Girl power, support power, recognize
Yeah.
know your worth,
And
power.
both of you ladies have been huge powerhouses in establishing and making sure that that voice is heard in this panelverse for the last few years. Hard, as far as I'm concerned, because I know I haven't been around in this group immediately, but yep. So I appreciate
Yeah, I think
that. We
actually,
need that.
Ezra, I think this is the first time you and I have spoke one-on-one.
I think so too. I know we've kind of intermingled a little, but I agree one-on-one. So appreciate it.
I know Jalen was really interested in the conversation. Did you have any? Did your questions get answered, Jalen, or do you have any other questions?
I mean, I probably got a lot of questions, to be honest with you. Come to sleep, but I don't know. I mean, it all depends on how much we really want to talk about all this. Cause I don't know. Do dreams mean like? Do you think dreams really mean something?
The panel, me.
No, really. I was talking to Ezra in particular.
Yeah.
Like, that could be for everybody as
my
well.
problem, to be honest.
What was that, Ezra?
My bad, Ezra.
I was going to say, Jalen, I feel like your mic is a little soft. Could you turn it up a smidge?
Oh, I got you, Jay.
I'm on the iPhone. It's kind of, yeah.
I got you.
Thank you.
But what I was asking was, do you think dreams really mean something? Yeah.
She's asking, do dreams really mean something?
Thank you. And the mic was way better, which was what I was excited about. Yes. So this is actually what they've conjectural. That's what. Okay. So when you were starting to talk about, so REM sleep. Sorry, you weren't. I started to touch on this a little bit. So when you go through dream sleep, you are actually sorting out your memories, is what they've compounded. And this is true to some extent. So you will choose to dream about people that at some extent you'll never dream about them again. It doesn't mean that you don't have continual dreams or reoccurring, which are super important, but they have discovered that you are actually sorting out certain influences and then contextualizing it through that stage. So you are sorting it. I hope that makes sense, because I know this gets a little weird. But what I can tell you when I watch your brain activity during dream sleep versus like when you're in stage 3. So when you're in stage 3, you have something called delta, which is a very wide, big, expansive kind of activity. And we'll see that happen with your brain activity, but we'll see your body actually have a lot of momentum. We'll see your breathing kind of be a little more erratic. We'll see you start twitching your legs sometimes. A little bit, not a lot of it.
I do that.
It's and this is during dream sleep, right? And we know certain stories that correlate with what I'm kind of getting into, and I'll go further at some point. But you're actually supposed to be releasing hormones that paralyze yourself. So when you hear about something called sleep paralysis, it's because you're actually waking up in the dream state. So you're actually in REM and you cannot move because your hormones are there and but you're visually awake. And if I was to look at your brain activity, I would actually be like, okay, that person's actually aware of their surroundings. This is probably freaky to them. And I've had this experience happen to myself. And then I've also had it happen during sleep studies with other patients. So there's like a whole, obviously I could get into that rigmarole of what that means, but it's rare, but not impossible. Like I almost guarantee that 50% of us here in this, either in this conversation or this chat room have had that experience.
Yeah, I definitely have. I've heard some people talk about the whole somebody standing over you thing, or seeing a shadowy figure. I never had that experience, but I wondered, what does that mean, having those type of experiences, as far as like my as exposed as, I mean, whatever. But as that
It's
experience,
actually most
others
likely.
fine. What I'm
Sorry,
trying to say.
Jillian. I don't mean to be rude. It's most likely a hallucination. So we want to call it like shadow people or like aliens visiting us. It's actually a little bit more simple. And so I don't mean to like discredit how people have like felt about the esoteric or what this means for their real life. But I'm going to tell you like almost every explanation that I've heard is the same. And it's actually not often these alien creatures. It's these shadow figures. You feel like you're being controlled, like almost like paranormal, something like ghost-like activity.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually not the case. And that's what's hard to explain. It's actually your mind playing tricks on you. And so when you're in this state, you can actually feel like somebody, you won't even see them. You'll tell me that you see them, but there's somebody creeping up behind you and you can't explain it other than like you just feel it.
So can this may sound like a crazy question. Can this state be an awake? Can you be in an awake sleep state? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I've heard more and more people when I watch the body cam videos of a crime, the suspect will always say there was like this shadowy figure. So it sounds like what you're talking about. So can that happen awake?
Yes, because you'll sense like this is the same thing as like if anybody's ever had a surgery or something, let's just say, and you didn't meet a certain person before the surgery began and they were introduced to you like when you were literally on the table. So I've had a couple knee surgeries when I was a kid. I had a couple anesthesiologists that didn't introduce themselves to me before the procedure and just showed up around my corner as I was going into that weird faded out stage. And then understanding as a child, having sleep paralysis, having patients who had sleep paralysis, like watching the brain activity and then, having that conversation with them. I can tell you like it's a very much like creeped up, sensed on energy. So something's there. It's not fully explanatory. So like when I tell you like there was no black people, like this doesn't exist, there's no shadow people. I can't actually say that. I can't actually tell you that this doesn't exist.
Right.
But what I will tell you is the commonality behind it and the similarity is like impeccable. So whatever everybody's experience is actually like incredibly similar with very little variance. I hope that helps.
Well, I've enjoyed this conversation. We definitely need to get you on Chicas Locas and tell us more about it and answer questions if you're definitely interested.
Oh, I'm so Cynthia. I have actually like I feel like you and I in moving forward with some future big projects for myself right now. I actually something kind of fell into my lap very, very, very recently. And you as a prominent public speaker and like just a really strong presence with your experience and all kinds of levels, obviously with technology and then what we're doing right here. I'd actually like to and this is very public right now, but we'll talk about this privately more obviously. I'd like to extend an invite to you to become a part of a huge project that's happening kind of quickly.
Awesome. That sounds, I love it. Anytime I can network, I'm definitely trying to step out of the small space I have found myself in and understand that there's more to YouTube than what we've experienced.
And something actually like maybe we wouldn't always be public about it, but like you're actually going to get paid for it, right? Like these are things we can actually stand behind for our careers.
Gotcha.
Something that I know you personally would really enjoy because of the conversations we had. You would like stand behind these kind of concepts and want.
I love it. Does Margot or Jay, do you have any other questions for Ezra? I'm getting ready because I don't like to go over 2 hours. I think that's a good time for a show. Great. So do you guys have any
something to say? I'm just super pissed off and offended that Ezra didn't ask me to be a part of this situation. I'm joking. I'm completely joking.
What's your
I just want like public? I just want to punch you with my dick.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I know.
No,
that
I'm completely
local
joking. What I
legislation.
do want to say is, as I will be a reference of doing a little work with Cynthia in the past. She's amazing, loyal to the no end, and I'm excited to watch what happens between you guys. Ezra, thank you so much for sharing your passion and your expertise in this area. I have some personal questions for you. We can connect at some other point, and I can ask those. Thank
Wonderful.
you for your insight and your
Thank you.
your thoughts. It's exciting to me. Jalen, it was super fun hanging out with you. Cynthia, I love you, girl,
Love you too,
and
Tika.
I hope everyone has a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Sleep
the
well.
spur.
Sleep well. Sleep good in the rim and dream
Yes.
stage.
Well, that's another thing. I mean, as you know, Cynthia, I take Seroquel at night, so I want to talk about that at some point.
Woo!
So,
Oh,
You
Margot.
sure to tune in.
what, Ezra?
Oh, I got your back. We're gonna talk for sure.
Yes.
Excellent.
I'm
Love
I
it.
will
Love
make
it.
sure you
And-
know when we're doing
Well,
I'm not
this.
even joking you. I'm literally building a healing and wellness center, and it will be heavily influenced on your brain activity as far as sleep goes. So, like CBTI, if you've heard of this,
Yes.
TFT. This is like brain rewiring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna talk soon, Margot. And you are definitely. I know your impact on the political scene, so we'll talk very soon.
One other thing, I want to recognize this moment and this conversation. This is how powerful social media can be in
Yes.
a good way. In a
Yes.
good way. We started out talking about this situation in Las Vegas, and look what it turned into, and it's beautiful.
I love it.
Right?
Okay,
Good
bye guys.
point.
Thank you, Jalen.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Have any last
You,
questions?
Jalen. Yes.
Do you have any last questions, Jalen, or comments?
I don't think I
I'm
have
gonna
any
drop your link. Oh wait,
questions.
Jalen's taking a break, but he does have a channel. He does
Yeah,
talk about current
I'll
events.
post maybe some shorts every once in a while, but as far as going live or doing any real introspective videos right now, probably not. I'm doing a lot of school work. I'm in federal government right now, so I got a lot of work with that because 16 weeks packed into like a 4-week course. So
Man,
yeah.
well, get your sleep. You're gonna need that to have your good grades.
Oh
As
yeah,
always, I definitely
be-
always appreciate you coming up. People always compliment you. They think that you're a great insight. And like Margot was telling Ezra earlier, don't downplay yourself. Don't keep yourself so secretive. If you have time, jump on many panels because you are a well-spoken man that brings great conversation to any.
Oh, yeah. I've been on a lot of panels. I be telling you all the time. It's just not everybody's gonna mesh with my way of thinking, my line of logic and criticism of certain things. I'm very critical of especially when we're talking politics and race relations and all that stuff. So I'm very critical when it comes to a lot of things. So don't necessarily always make me mesh with everybody per se. But I definitely have tried to, get on many panels, been on people panels all over. So
Me
the
too.
people that like me, the people that don't. It's cool. But y'all have a good night. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to make sure every stage is going in perfect harmony and balance, at least as much as I can possibly. Like I said, I've never been a strong sleeper. I wake up pretty frequently and probably even have some acute sleep apnea. Who knows? But yeah.
Oh, snap. Didgeridoo. You need to play the didgeridoo, or you need to start singing at like a really deep level. It will work your inner throat activity and resolve some of that sleep apnea.
I got to start singing
I'm
like
not
Barry
kidding you. I
White.
literally put people
Singing
on
like Barry
CPAP machines.
White.
What was the first thing you said? What was the first thing you said, Ezra?
I'm sorry. Play the didgeridoo, like that instrument, the Australian instrument. It has been specifically linked, but also like big horn instruments. So if you're doing that kind of like deep blowing activity, both of these things have been shown to cure acute sleep apnea, Jalen.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's that long horn?
Or just sing. Just deeply sing and like hard root. Like bring it from that chest level to the throat, not nasal, right? You know what I'm talking about. Jalen, I can hear it in your voice. Like you can lay down some notes.
Nah, I sung at a certain point in my life, but I don't sing at all. I haven't sung since 8th grade. I mean, I sing, but of course, who don't sing songs that they like or whatever. But as far as like actually trying to sing,
And I just hear excuses at this point, so fucking do it, dude.
Wow, motivation. Well, thank you, Jalen. I always appreciate you. Dropped your link in the chat along with Ezra's. Ezra, do you have anything to say before I head out?
I think I've said plenty, and I really appreciate this opportunity because I know Cynthia and
yes. Before you leave,
I'm
I appreciate you coming up. I'm sure we will schedule something. Oh, and for your boyfriend, I want you to
yeah. Tell me.
I haven't got an attitude with anybody except you, Steven. Distance yourself. You cross this line, we're gonna have a problem. Fuck your line. Fuck you. Damn, dude. I knew from the fucking very first fucking minute I met you, you were gonna be a fucking problem.
So.
Oh my god, he's gonna love that. You know that, right?
He knows it's for him, and it really is for him. Like the first time I ever met him, Chica, he just like came at me, and then he was like, "You know what? I was like, no, bro, forever keep that shit." So, but I appreciate it. I love that you guys love each other. He's a wonderful man. He's a kind soul. With his crickets that he doesn't step on.
And Cynthia, because he knows you're like you're hard to the like you're not a fluffy. You're not a fluffer. Like you're gonna get shit done. He does know that about you. We've had those conversations. So
yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming up as always. We're definitely gonna link together because I have so many more questions to ask.
Thank you. You're amazing. Everybody, I want you to bow for a moment. Just take a moment. No, she's going to tell me no, but I'm going to tell you yes because she's super respectful, super like relatable. Please take a moment. Just please take a moment to understand this woman. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Chica. I appreciate you coming out.
Lovely.
All right. Man, guys, I was going to introduce my next segment, but I just feel like it's not the time for me. Like, how can I go to my next segment with love, coming from this place of love? So I'm going to not do anything about it, but because some of you might be curious, I will show you how it will start. I love that clip. That clip takes me back to my childhood. And that clip also states so much what I'm known for. We just heard Ezra say, you're definitely not a fluffer. And well, she's right. I'm not. And somehow this is just who I've become on YouTube. And people like it. People like when I get in this state of, I don't know what state it is. It's probably not one of the REM sleep states. However, there are certain things that I really don't give a fuck about. And I will be sharing those things with you guys in the future. I really enjoyed this stream tonight. Margot said it correctly. We started off talking about such a tragic event that started with YouTube. That didn't need to go into real life, but for lack of sleep, perhaps, bullying, the addiction, the psyche playing difference, post-traumatic stress, the whatever it is, it did go to a bad place. And again, I rest in peace to Bubbly and Finney. Many people were affected by this tragic incident on both sides. Violence is never the answer. think about how you use your voice. Think about what you listen to. Think about what you encourage. Even myself, I need to be aware of that too. Jalen came up, had some good questions about the sleep, the alpha sleep, beta sleep. I always enjoy Jalen coming through and speaking with us. Let me know what you thought about the stream in the comments below. And how are we? Oh, this is how we're going to go out tonight. I mean,
a couple reasons I wanted to come to you tonight. You all are the age of being my children. And I want to talk to you as a parent maybe has never talked to you before. You're only here once. God has bestowed you with life. He could have made you a rose that lasted 7 days or a butterfly that only lasted 3 weeks. But he chose to give you the highest form of life, that of being a human being. And with that, he gave you goals and dreams. And I'm here to tell you, and I don't really know you, but there's no one in here who can achieve health and who cannot achieve success.